Picture it, it's 2013 in Houston, Texas. We determined to take the rap game by storm. We started repping stud life. Tiny was always with us, hyping us up, repping. Then all of a sudden, RIP Tiny. Tiny is dead and gone. What happened? Stud now stands for a shared testimony of unashamed deliverance. You don't go by Tiny anymore, it's Ieacha. As a spiritual life coach, I was definitely intrigued, and Ieacha was gracious enough to grant me an interview. Let's lean in.
Hello, and what's up? I'm Coach For Real. I'm a spiritual life coach, primarily helping people progress to their best selves, reach their full potential by understanding who they are in spirit. And in doing so, I hope to relinquish some of those harmful, exploitive, oppressive things that come along with traditional religion. Here on my channel, I wanted to have some content that speaks to some of the things that I'm trying to do as a life coach. We want to call this the Lean In series. So essentially, I have an intimate conversation with someone and we just lean into them, better understand who they are, where they come from, and the things, the life experiences and things that in their journey that has shaped their outlook on life. So my very first guest on the Lean In is going to be Miss Ieacha Lusk. Now, back in the day, in the LGBTQIA plus community, I knew her as Tiny, but we're gonna lean into her and better understand how she went from Tiny to Ieacha. So, but before I bring her up, I'm gonna ask that you please like, share, and subscribe. One, so that you're notified when new content comes up, and two, so that you can share this with somebody who may find it beneficial and informative for their spiritual walk also. So, without further ado, I ain't gonna hold you. Let's bring up Miss Ieacha Lusk.
Hey, what's going on, man?
So much, nothing much. What's going on with you?
Chilling. Thanks for having me. It's good to see
It's,
you.
it's good seeing
What's
you
up,
too.
dog?
I know, right? First, we gotta have that little reunion moment where it's like, I ain't seen you in a minute. I ain't caught up with you. What you got going on? Like, yeah.
I went by fast. It don't even
Yeah,
seem
man. Time flies, but we still here. So glory to God
yeah.
for sure. Um, so I want to thank you. You thank me, but I thank you for taking the time out and allowing me to have this opportunity with you to lean into you and better understand your journey. So thank you.
Appreciate it. You're welcome. Yeah.
Of
So,
course, of course. Okay, so let's get into it. So just want to understand, like, I want you to tell me, like, who is Aisha? Go back as far as you want, as far as
no, dude. You
what
know,
made you who you are, what got you to this point, like, just or just as an introduction, just let us know
I
who we talking.
didn't. So, me as Tiny back then, studying with you and everything, and uh, I didn't ask for this. I thought my identity was in Tiny. I thought that's who I really was. I'm not gonna necessarily say that I feel like that I was born gay, but I did feel like and who I was as a child, that wasn't my true identity, you know. Uh, so I took on Tiny, and I've always been like growing up, I was always attracted to females. I started messing with females at the age of 4. I'm not. I take that back. I got touched by a female, another 4-year old, at the age of 4. It felt good. I liked it. I was always attracted to females. Never. I'm not gonna say I was a man hater, but I didn't have that attraction towards men either. And then also listening to the words my mom used to say coming out her mouth as a child, not knowing no better. She was already planting seeds, and seeing how she treated my boy cousins. I thought that I was supposed to be a boy. So taking upon the true identity of a stud, and I didn't even know anything about studs, films, lesbians back in my days. This was like in the early '90s.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'm not saying I lived a sheltered life, but I wasn't exposed to the LGBT community like that. And
Yeah.
so my mom asked me. I was 16. I'm still doing my thing. My mom asked me. No, was I 16? I think I was either 16 because I just got kicked out of Job Corps. But she asked me, and I didn't want to tell her. And I ended up telling her. And, she told me I wasn't going to be like that in her house. So what do? We going to move in with our girl.
Right. So now, was your mom's take on this, like from a religious standpoint? Is that why she didn't want you to do that, or did she just
No,
kind of
man. I didn't
support
even
you?
raise in the church. I went to church, and I ain't going to say my mom was like, because of what the word say, she ain't come at me like that. She was like,
Mhm.
you're not going to be living like that up under my roof. That's as simple as that.
Wow.
I
Okay. So it wasn't even religious driven. It was just she just wasn't with that and didn't want that in
just
her
went
house.
with it. She went with it. But, I think my mama masturbated because she said that's what God gave you 5 fingers for. So how you going to say
Okay.
mine is yours?
So
But
okay. So it sounds like you saying like, she had some questionable practices or may have been immoral in her own way, but she just wanted to
yeah,
pick and choose what she wanted to place judgment on. Kind of
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, I know about
Oh,
that.
but
But
she ended up taking it. She ended up accepting it. I guess it took a time for her to come to me where I was staying with the girl that I was with at that time. We were staying in a project, it's a 2 bedroom project apartments, and it was like 9 of us. And
mm,
she came out there for the holiday, and I guess with her talking to uh, my girl mom or whatever, just seeing the unity that we had, she just accepted it. One thing that she wasn't going to accept though is like my girls coming over, spending the night, and we sleeping in the same room.
yeah,
But
I can relate to
out of
that. Yeah.
respect, I got it. So that's I was gay for 19 years, man, and it was just until 2015 180, and that's when everything like literally changed for me. I wasn't seeking a different lifestyle. I
Okay.
came to
So before you
Houston
get to that, before you get
homeless
okay.
in 2015.
All right. I just don't want you to go too far into the story just yet. I just kind of
What?
want to get the foundation set, for what we
Okay,
talking.
okay.
All right. So I was hearing a few things and what you
All right.
said. So you would touch that for if you don't mind me kind of expounding on that. I know, I just hearing that
I
there
can
could be some
barely hear
trauma.
you.
Oh, you can't hear me?
Better.
That's better. Okay. I just like I heard a few things in what you were saying as far as like maybe there was some trauma there or you were violated very early on. And do you feel like that kind of led you into your attraction to girls, or do you feel like you were just maybe what you were attracted to was the attention that brought, or what do you think?
Well, you know what? I'm gonna say this with me knowing what I know now. Uh, that was here we go. With me knowing what I know now, he knew me before I was placed in my mother's womb.
Right.
The same way he knew me, the enemy knew me too.
Okay.
We all have a purpose in life, and we may go through life never knowing.
Yeah.
As I was saying, the seed got planted because the enemy was already after me before I was even conceived. This is just because he knew me, he knew you before he placed you in your mama womb. He already had a plan for you. This your plan, this my plan. So the enemy already he came to trick and deceive me, and did it work? Absolutely, it did work. It did work. I'm not gonna say it didn't because I lived it for 19 years thinking that it was me. But all those through, and not only that, he used my mama. And not only did he use my mama, he used my cousins. And I say that because my mama would always validate and go out to bat for and be there for my cousins. And they were boys. So I always fought for the same love that my mama gave my cousins. I fought for that from her too, from her. My mama planted bad seeds in me when she said that first off, she said I was an ugly baby. The
Oh man,
second,
your own mama said that. That's
she said
cold
I was an
blooded.
ugly baby. I looked at the baby picture. The baby do look ugly, but
Nah,
I
come
ain't
on
all that
now.
ugly.
God don't
That
make no
that that
junk
infant,
though.
he don't,
you
he
know.
don't. But I'm like, yeah, that wasn't no cute baby though. But I get it. And then she used to say she wished that she had a boy. And my mom, used to say, call me all type of sluts and hoes. And I wasn't sleeping around with niggas. You know what I'm saying? I'm still not sleeping around with niggas. I was probably, flirting with girls. I didn't actually have my first actual sexual thing with a girl until, I turned 16 and stuff. So in my elementary years and junior high years, a lot of bad stuff was planted, and it just, went from there. We didn't have the best relationship until I got older.
Okay.
So that was trauma. It
Hmm.
was trauma.
So it sounds like, I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but what I'm hearing is that maybe you maybe adopted that lifestyle as a response to some of what your upbringing was like. Like if your mama wanted a boy, maybe you thought, well, I'm gonna try to be a boy to get her approval or get, her
Along
attention.
with that, yeah, and see what kind of like baffles me is because I never seen that lifestyle ever in my life. So
Hmm.
how would I know to take up on that lifestyle? Like honest, okay, so just jumping ahead a little bit, when I had my first sexual encounter with a female,
Hmm.
she asked me how did I know how to do that? When I looked up at her and I was like, I don't know. Because I never read about it. I never heard about it, never saw it. None of
Yeah.
that, bro. For real, for real, for real,
Mhm.
for real. So it's like if that wasn't what two women, two lesbians supposed to do, then I'm a nasty person.
Well, is it possible that that's just who you were? Because, like, to your point, you never
That's
seen it,
what.
you
So
weren't
when
exposed
I
to it.
answered exactly, so this how my mind was, and this the trick because when she asked me, and I told her I don't know, and the way I could, it's like I had an outer body experience because I could see my face on how I looked up at her, and I was like, I don't know. I heard it just came natural.
Mm,
So I roll
okay.
with it like that's me. That's tiny, baby. Hey.
And some tells me
Yeah.
you no longer think that way. You don't think it came natural now.
No, man, it came. I just feel like I was literally used, like wrapped up in something that I didn't know, thinking that that's who, like I really thought that that's who I was. I mean, I could see when I look at it from a different perspective, from a spiritual perspective, it's like I could see the python got me wrapped up, and I'm just going with the flow. You feel what I'm saying? That
Hmm.
makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
That's 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 how I see it. I see how he takes the innocent. I didn't have no relationship with God. I didn't know nothing about no God. I wasn't no God hater and I wasn't no devil worshiper, but he
Hmm.
just had me. He just had me.
The like the devil, you mean, had
Devil,
you
enemy,
the enemy?
minions, yeah.
Yeah, dark forces. Yeah.
Dark
Okay.
forces, bondage.
Yeah.
You
Okay. Have you ever asked yourself like why you would pick like why the enemy picked you?
know what, bro? No.
Mm,
Even in my darkest times, I I think I have been down so many times to where I got to the point to where I stopped asking why me. As I
mhm,
got closer in my relationship, in my spiritual walk, I've became more grateful to not ask why me, but not and ask why not me? Why not
mm,
send me? Why not
right.
me? I'm honestly like I feel like I really am a tool, a vessel that is being used to show what he can do. For him to get the glory. I didn't ask for this walk. I didn't ask for this. I was engaged to two girls, bro. Two girls. I was
Same
ready to
time?
go home, roll a blunt. Yes, I was homeless first come, first serve. What?
Wow.
No. It's in my
Okay.
book, yes. In
We just
Virginia and out here in Texas. So first come, first serve, who can rescue Tiny?
okay. Fair player.
Nah.
Whoever
I,
come
I
first,
I didn't have nothing to
I put a
offer but my
ring on
love, my word. I had nothing to offer because I
it.
ain't had
Okay.
nothing.
Okay. Well,
But
you said like a serpent had you just wrapped up, just you were in his grasp, his or her, its grasp. Who who or what would you say has you now, or if anything? Like, are you wrapped up in something else?
Yes, the Lord Almighty, the creator of all, the
Okay.
one who blows breath into your beautiful lungs to wake you up.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Alpha, the Omega, the beginning and the end. The
Okay.
I am. Yahweh,
Yeah.
Yahuwah, God, Elohim. I know the Hebrew names.
Yeah.
Yahuwah, Yahshua, Jesus, the
For
one
sure.
and only, the one who has the final say. So the one, my word don't matter. My word don't matter. Your word don't matter. At the end of the day, he come down here. He gonna be like, "Pharrell, you right. Aisha, you wrong. Aisha, you right. Pharrell, you wrong." That it's that.
Yeah.
That's who I worship. The one who has the final say. So
Okay.
that's who
So,
has me wrapped up.
so if he's the creator of the good and he the creator of the bad, or the serpent that had you wrapped
He
up. Oh,
yeah, he
yeah.
fallen. He's the that story with Satan and God. It's almost like Kamala. No, I can't say that. But it's almost like being the who president, who wants to be the president. And say you already have a president established, but you can have someone that's coming along saying, but I could do better, I could do this, I could do that. That's easy terms to explain that in as like who created the snake, who created the devil, what he did. But he see that how good he is, he wants some of that part too. He wants to be glorified. He wants the same thing that he has, and God saying, "No, it's just me. I am the I am. I'm the king."
Okay. For sure. Okay. So let's just go deeper. So what was that turning point? You married, you engaged, I should say, to two women, one in Virginia, one in Texas. So you pimping all over the country, if you will. You state to state.
No,
I'm joking.
I was homeless.
Oh,
Nah,
you
that
okay?
Turner, it was
So basically,
yeah,
you were homeless and you were willing to say, "Hey, I'll be with you if you give me a place to stay." It was kind of more of like a transaction or an exchange type thing.
yeah. I was just waiting on them to become. Yeah, I was just waiting on them to be become to be ready. Like, okay, I usually come because they had kids and everything.
So out of
Uh,
respect for a situation, you just trying to wait for the
mm,
green light
yeah,
to
yeah, just waiting
proceed.
on the green light.
Okay. Would you say, with our respect, like I'm just asking questions, would you say that you were a user?
I thought about that. I was like, was I a manipulator? Um, I still want to say I didn't manipulate nobody because I told them my situation.
Okay.
Uh, and I can't say that I was using because I really, with my heart, was really in it. Uh, I was really looking for real love. If I was like with you, no matter whether you was near or far, I was faithful. But I always had someone on the back burner because I always got burnt. Um, but I was the one willing to always come, and I guess to try to settle down and we live our life together, play
Okay.
house. It wasn't much I was using you for. I just wanted you to love me.
Okay. So that turning point, potentially engaged to two women, just waiting on the green light for one or the other, and then what happens?
Got tricked into going to the church I've been going to for the past well, not recently, we just closed the doors, but I got tricked in going to a church I was going to for like 8 years. And I say tricked because my sister at that time, she was in the LGBTQ community as well.
Your
And
biological sister?
nah, just like
Okay.
I was a stud. I'm the only
Got
child.
okay.
I'm
Okay.
a stud. She the film.
Got you.
But still to this day, she's my best friend now.
Oh, nice.
Uh,
Okay.
but she told me she told me her encounter at the church that Free Indeed is the name of it, or was the name of it. And what she told me, coming from a black person, you only see that on TV. And so I ain't gonna say it scared me, but I'm like, hell no, I don't never want to go to that church.
Well, see what
Uh,
on TV? I must have missed.
like the crazy stuff, like hearing about. You seen the exorcism?
Yes, yeah, I seen that.
Something similar to that.
So like casting out demons and
Yeah, something
things of that
similar to
nature.
that.
Okay.
But the way that she was doing it, the way she was reacting, I mean not reacting, but the way that she was telling her story, coming from the person herself, you know, she talking about how she had, like, she was speaking in different accents and stuff, and how she like lifted a table or flipped a table with one hand. You know, she's big, but she ain't that big, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
then her episode about when, you know, she was drinking some water, she was really thirsty and she drank some water, and this one guy came up and he said that's holy water, and how she just sped it all out, and then she, you know, she sped it on people, and I ended up going to to friend D. And with me being like, I'm if I'm curious, I'm gonna ask you. I know, you know, I know how to approach people and ask questions. And so I
Yeah.
asked, you know, if you point them out, I asked them, like, and without having a lead on question too, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and getting their feedback. And I'm like, "Dang." But when she told me her story before I even got to go ask the people, I told her I didn't want to go to that church, and she's asked me why. And I was like, I don't want them delivering me from my lesbianism, you know, straight up. So,
Okay. At least
but
you're honest. That's an honest answer.
yeah, I'm be honest. And but even though, living in that lifestyle, I would, go to a church here or go to a church there. It was something within me that was always hungry for the word. And I probably didn't remember the message, but it was, I went to here and there, and went home and did my own thing. But that day that I ended up going to friend D with her, uh, I I was thinking about the calling one of them girls when I got home, and was thinking about rolling a blunt. And this one um this one sister, she was sitting to my left, and she asked me a simple question. And the pastor didn't say turn to your neighbor and ask your neighbor, nothing like that. And she just said, hey. And I looked, and she actually whispered in my ear, she was like, are you saved? And on my left side, I was like, well, at the age of 9, I got baptized. And then on my right side, yeah, but you got baptized for the wrong, for the wrong reasons. And then on my left side, it was like, you can't be, are you saved living this lifestyle? But then after those,
You was happy with yourself
yeah, like it literally jumped like that.
to
It
answer
literally jumped
the
like
question.
that. Huh?
In order to answer the
Yeah.
lady's question, you were kind of having a conversation with yourself about how to respond, or
I wouldn't even have, I didn't even know I was having a conversation with myself. These are just things that I heard in my head. It
gotcha.
went left, right, left. And then next thing I know, I don't remember saying excuse me, because she was blocking me. I don't remember saying, I didn't say excuse me. I didn't I remember making it to the front, and I looked my spiritual dad in the eyes. And next thing I know, I just fell. It ain't like I just collapsed. I don't know what happened. I just ended up face down on the carpet. And I was just crying and crying and crying and crying. I remember saying, I'm sorry, and just kept crying. I don't know how long I was down there. And then when I got up, it was like, okay. And I just kept living life. I didn't really, I didn't ask. That's why I keep saying I didn't ask for this. I didn't say, oh, Jesus Christ, I accept you. I didn't do, like, it was totally different, totally weird for me. and to try to see if what was like, I don't know what's going on. I went to my ex-girlfriend at that time who was out here in Houston. After like a couple months went by, I went back to her, and I thought I still had feelings for her because when we broke up, we didn't break up on bad terms. Um, and I thought that we could probably like reconcile or whatever. That didn't feel right. I tried kissing her. I gave her a kiss actually. That didn't feel right, and that just made me more curious of knowing like what, like if I give myself to you, what should I expect from you, type of thing. Because at this point in time in my life, I was already at my wits end. Like I was homicidal, suicidal. I didn't have nothing to lose, and so I did say that. I did tell God this. I was like, if this don't work, it's a wrap.
Well, so now, did when you went to the church, did you go like presenting as a stud, or were you like informing the
Yeah,
community?
yeah.
Okay,
They knew me as Tiny. They knew me as Tiny, man. They knew me. I wasn't sagging. You know, I had respect, but they knew me as Tiny. You know, they knew I was a stud.
okay,
I'm telling you, they seen, and the transformation didn't happen on the outside, and then the transformation happened on the inside out.
uh,
So even though, like, I gave myself to Christ and all that, I want. I think I was a little bit worried about the LGBTQ community. I'm gonna be honest. I was worried about my that family
mm-hmm,
because I know how I was when I was in that lifestyle, and I see people go straight. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh, so you
how
straight now?
okay,
And then they go back to gay. And I used to call them flip floppers. You just a flip flopper. And
mm-hmm,
I didn't want to be looked at as a flip flopper. I didn't even call myself, I didn't even call myself straight. I still don't call myself straight.
really?
I ain't, dog, I'm still a virgin, dude. I ain't been with a man.
So, what do you consider yourself? Are you attracted to
A
men?
follower. I am a follower of Jesus Christ. I am a diehard follower of Yahshua HaMashiach. And when I say a follower, I'm not just saying, yeah, I love him with my heart. I try to apply the word in my life. I try. I ain't perfect, but I try to love the way that he loves us, the way that he intends for each one of us to love each other unconditionally. I try to extend that grace that he give my ratchet behind to
Right.
everybody, especially when I feel like you don't deserve it. Well, who am I to say who deserves it? Because I don't deserve his grace. You see,
So, when you
it's
see a gay person, that's like you can physically tell some people, maybe you can stereotype them, but sometimes you can tell that person's probably gay based on their mannerisms or the way they dress, etc. You don't judge those people, or you don't try to. Do you try to judge
no,
people with their lifestyle or anything like that?
no, no, I don't do none of that, bro. I don't do none of that. I don't even come at you with the word unless you open the door. Now, if you
Okay.
open the door, I'm gonna walk through it because I gotta tell you how good he's been for me.
Right.
I can't keep it to myself.
Well, now, do you think you and a gay person can have a conversation about how good God is, and testify and spread the good news?
Honestly, I do. I do.
Okay.
You should know one of them. You remember MC Dirty?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my
MC Dirt.
dog. That's my baby. That's my sister.
Okay.
She took me in when I was homeless too.
Yeah.
So she
Okay.
knows. He knows. And when my life changed, and I love her so much. Shout out to you, Danita. I love her so much. That girl, she was pretty much the first one who welcomed me with open arms coming from the LGBTQ community.
She and it
That's
sounds
my
like
dog, man.
she did what Jesus would do. So
Man,
I
exactly.
feel what I'm hearing is you can be in the lifestyle and still be Christ-like and love people and help them out and all those things. So, what about you made you feel like you had to do things differently in order to be a follower of Christ when you have just spoken so highly of somebody who is still in the lifestyle that's
I
also
don't think I I don't think I had to do anything different. I think I allowed his will to be done and not mine.
okay,
When I said I took my hands off my life, I took my hands off my life. I don't control anything that go on in my life whatsoever.
Okay.
whatsoever. When I lift my hands up like this and I give him praise, I'm really surrendering because I'm tired. I'm totally tired. I feel like from 2015 all the way till now, it's only because of him I made it this far. I should have been dead. And not from no bullet. I missed a lot of bullets, but I should have been in a coffin. It's only because of him I'm still here. I ain't got nothing to do with anything that's going on in my life. I don't have nothing to do with how I look. I don't have a style, but he did this. When he killed all my fleshly desires and replaced all my desires with his desires, it is what it is.
So that
I still don't know how to shop for dresses.
yeah, it sounds like it may not be just a part of who you are to wear dress or to be feminine. That's just not who you are. That's okay too. So you so do you think you could still wear like, man's clothing and still be the follower of Christ that you are? Like the clothes don't
You
have to
know
define.
what? Because it doesn't. The clothes don't define you. It doesn't. I was like, it's so funny that you say that, Mookie man, because I was like, I had more style when I was homeless, stud, than I do now. And I
Mhm.
was talking like I like my little swag back then. When I be looking at that stuff, like I like that little swag back then. And then I had a sister tell me, like, Isha, you can still be what you feel comfortable in, getting a little polo with your tie and and your Jordans and your basketball shorts. That's how you want to rock it. That's just how you want to rock it. That don't define you. That's not telling nobody. That's not keeping you from sharing the gospel, and sharing the glory, telling your testimony. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't make you. That doesn't make your witness false.
Right, right.
So I
So
just got to be used to being me.
for sure. And I would imagine it's a journey and you steadily evolving and discovering what that means for you.
Yeah.
Um so are you attracted to men, or do you just feel like as long as I just refrain from being a lesbian, I'm on the
Oh
right
no,
path?
it ain't like that. If I refrain from being a lesbian, no, it ain't like that. As I've been going through my journey, and it wasn't no like, oh, now you like men. It wasn't nothing like that. Uh, Part of my journey has been a fast pace, and part of my journey has been a slow pace. He's allowed me to get comfortable, or even try to communicate with a man, get comfortable talking to a man, get comfortable being in a man's presence, or having a man in my presence. Knowing what it feel like to go out on a date with a man, knowing what it feel like to be hugged, helped by a man. I've had little, pieces here, there, and there, and there, and here and there. Actually going out on dates and having a good time and not hearing from them, stuff like that. But when it comes to like the sexual part, I'm not there. I won't be there. The reason I'm single is because I won't, sleep with a man. Like I've had opportunities to be in relationship with men, but if having sex has to be part of the equation to be in a relationship, then you can minus me out of that, because sex is not part of the equation to be in a relationship unless you're courting me to marry me. And that's the only thing.
Okay. So if you was headed toward marriage or being married, you see yourself married to a man one day, or the
If
possibilities of
it's
that?
his will,
Mm.
yeah, if it's his will, I'm not gonna oppose it. I ain't like, yay, team marriage over here. I ain't like that. Well, I'm like, oh, I want to get married. I'll just go with his flow.
Okay.
If he bring a man my way and he puts it on me too, he lets me know that that is the one,
Mhm.
then but it's nah, no, no.
Okay. So, how has your relationship with religion changed since you had this encounter in 2015? It's gotten, I imagine, stronger. Like, are you more religious?
I don't even call it religion or
Okay.
religious. I hate that word. I hate religion. And I'll say it to anybody. I'm not ashamed to say that I hate religion because it's religion who keep people away from knowing the true relationship of our Father, the one who looks at us like we're the apple of his eye. So if
Right.
we could knock out the religion part and seek a relationship with
Mm,
him, then we would probably have a better understanding of who he is and what his heart desires. You know what I'm saying? Whether we get it right or not. And we would heal in places that the world can't heal us in. He will reconcile relationships that we can't do on our own. He will give us understanding that we can't seek on our own. Like if we just seek the relationship that he desires from us, the same way that we seek relationships in individuals in this world, we probably have a little bit of more mental sanity and
mm,
peace within ourselves and love ourselves so that we know how to love others.
right. Okay. So it's really
So
just
my relation, it gets deeper and deeper the more I stay close to him. I'm still
mm,
learning.
yeah,
In my eyes, in my mind, I'm still like a 1 year old or a 2 year old or a toddler holding on to their daddy finger walking. Like
yeah,
I'm a child in his eyes. I'm 45. I'm grown. I'm a grown woman, but I look at myself like a toddler in his eyes who's just so goo goo gaga behind their daddy.
yeah, yeah. I get that. For sure. Okay, so okay, it's not about religion. It's about relationship. So what about your relationship then with the higher power that dictates that the lesbian or the LGBT lifestyle is a sinful lifestyle? Is it things you've read in the Bible, those passages
Yeah,
given kiss and
it
relation?
honestly. I ain't gonna put it on nothing but the word. And I know we say, well, how do you know that the word is true and it's written so many times? That part I don't have the argument for, but I go by his holy word because his holy word is the only thing that I have to lean on to get me through this life to live here on earth. I can't trust nobody else. I've put my trust in a whole lot of human beings and I've been let down by more than I like to admit. But then his words say, trust me, for I never leave you or forsake you. I say, okay. He say, follow me, for I have all these promises for you. And I seen some of the promises in the word. I'm like, okay. Then he tells me if I, take care of the birds and the grass and they don't do nothing for me, what make you any lesser than them? I'm
Right.
like, okay. So then now here come the meat of it. Now listen, it takes obedience, and this is what I don't like. I love everybody, but I don't like half of the stuff that they do. I love everything that you do, Aisha. Well, I love you, Aisha. I love you as the human being that you are, but I don't like the stuff that you do. I don't like the fact that you do this and this and this and this and this and this. I frown upon those things, but it would please me if you wouldn't do that and just heed me. I say, okay, I got you. But that ain't why I turned away from the LGBTQ community. It's just the desire just stopped in me.
Okay.
But when people that are in that lifestyle do it, and I'm like, but you follow, God, and you still choose to do what you do, that's on you. I I got vape.
I noticed. I wasn't gonna say nothing,
I
but I
got a
saw
vape.
big line.
So what? Okay, so what make you any worse than me? I'm wrong for this too.
Yeah, okay. So it's kind of like judge not, unless you be judged. Like
I
we all.
can't. What? Listen, it's something I can't help you get the speck out your eye, and I got something in my own.
Right.
The
I feel you.
words say that.
Mhm.
So those who be like, you wrong for doing that, and I say woe to them. I don't say woe to my brother or my sister that's over here doing that. I say woe to you because you got that big old log in your eye and you casting stone.
Right. Okay.
Nah,
So are you no longer attracted to women? Is that
I'm
part of it?
not. I'm not.
Really?
And I tried it again. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna be transparent. Okay. I'm
Yeah.
honest. I tried
Transparency.
it again in 2020, dude. I tried it again in 2020 with one of my fiancés.
Okay. The Virginia one or the Texas?
The Virginia one.
VA? I mean, it's a journey. Like it sounds
It
like
was fun. It was an anesthetic, dude. It was an anesthetic. It was for that time being. And after it was said and done, I felt bad. I felt not bad to her, but I felt like, dang, daddy, I'm sorry. It's like for me, when I do something that I know I shouldn't be doing, it makes me feel like a kid that hurt my mom or my dad. I remember the time that I hurt my dad's feelings, and instead of him whooping me, he whooped me with his words. And that feeling right there, that really resonated. So it resonated with me. So I felt, I really felt bad. Um, the damage was done. And after I felt bad, I was like, why did I do that anyway? And then I started like picking apart how she looked and everything, and it just made, not saying anybody else, but it just made me feel like type of thing. So that was, and I mean, I'm not gonna lie, we had fun. I had a lot of fun with her, a lot of fun. We did things that even when I was in the LGBTQ lifestyle, we did things that I wasn't able to do then. We grown now, and I got my own place, so we did some stuff. But after it was said and done, I felt bad. I was like, I'm sorry, daddy. And I see how it was bored. I was bored. I seen an opportunity to do something random, and I was like, I was supposed to go see my daddy. My daddy live in Virginia, so I used that as an excuse. Let me go see my daddy, but she in Virginia too. So I dissed my daddy to go be with her, and then I flew her out here, almost held her hostage.
like for real.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't
like
want her to go back.
like hostage, like on
Like,
some
you ain't gotta leave, girl. I'll get you another ticket.
okay,
I'll
like
pay for
get a
it.
hostage negotiator
Not
type.
I forgot. No, not that type of house. It's like you ain't going nowhere.
Hey, right. Oh, just
No, no, no.
the
Like, you can
pandemic.
miss the plane. It's all right. You can stay another week. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
she had to get back to the kids. So yeah, after that, that's when I knew it's like, yeah, it's I don't I don't want to do it. And I think another reason what kind of helped me turn away so easily from the community is by the time I came out here to Houston, I was almost disgusted with lesbians because of the experience I was having with them, moving state to state. And I started saying, like, that's when we had the DLs coming out, the Download Brothers coming out. And then the stud on stud threw me off, bro. I ain't gonna lie. That took me through a loop right there. And
Yeah.
I think I was like, I think I had a phobia on that too.
Okay, so it sounds like you're not attracted to women, you're not attracted to men. Do you feel like you may be asexual? Like, if you don't mind me asking, if it's not too personal, like just
I'm not gonna say I'm not attracted to men. I don't Google Gaga and make my men chase after him. I can look at a man and be like, damn, he fine. Uh, I'll even initiate a conversation with a man that I am attracted to.
okay.
You know, uh, but I'm not sex. I'm not my attraction when it comes to a man. It could be his looks. He can look good, good conversation, but I'm not sex driven to be with a man.
Gotcha. Okay. So it seemed like a part of your relationship with God is His Word, the Bible. Do you ever find it kind
I'm so sorry.
of, are you good?
Hey, hey, stop. Okay.
Good. I got one of them too. Um, have you ever found that the Bible contradicts itself? Like here it says one thing, then over here it says something else about that same topic, or like, and if you do find that it contradicts itself, does that ever make you question your strong conviction about some of these things that are saying are wrong?
No, I've only felt like the Bible would be contradicting itself when I try to read it in my own understanding. Uh, that's why I like reading it and getting other people's perspectives of it. Uh, I'll also have like maybe a different version. I do not read the King James version. I might read the New King James version, but I also may read the Message Bible as well. Uh, but as far as contradicting itself, I don't feel like it do unless I'm comparing the Old Testament to the New Testament, which I do find myself with one part that I'm like, well, why do we do this? And we shouldn't be doing this or something like that. But I haven't personally found it contradictive. I've seen myself reaching out, reaching out for a better explanation or someone expounding more on it, and I could find or I could be led to somewhere else in the Bible where it's expounding on that specific thing to give me better understanding on what it's talking about that actually goes with what's expounding.
Or
I haven't found it like that.
yeah. Okay.
Hush.
And I see you like affiliated with like House of Transformation, or at least you were. Uh, and I know you mentioned the church you went to and really had that encounter with God in 2015. Are you
Hmm.
affiliated with any organizations, and do you find them to be supportive, or do you feel like it's pressure from them to kind of walk this path of not being in that lifestyle, or do you even feel like maybe you put the pressure on yourself that they're expecting you to not be gay anymore and to walk a certain lifestyle, so you feel like, okay, these eyes are always watching me, let me make sure that I'm walking that straight and narrow.
I'm blessed. I am so blessed because honestly, I never felt pressure coming from anybody,
Oh, good.
not even myself, not even myself.
That's what's up.
I didn't feel forced to do anything. It like literally, it just happened all for me. Uh, that's what like I wish it was like that for everybody. Because I've seen people, come out the lifestyle and end up going back because of pressure coming from one side or pressure coming from another side. That people putting expectations on people. I didn't have no the only expectation I had. I gave my expectations to him. Like, I expect you to keep me. Like, I expect you to hold your word since ain't nobody else holding their word. Like, I ain't got nobody else to trust. And I expected him to, like, okay, fair exchange, no robbery. You know what I'm saying? Um, but again, I was walking in not knowing anything. I didn't know all this honestly, and still kind of feel like you can have the heart for the Most High Yah and still be you. His words say, his words say, and this is one of my biggest fears too, on why I ain't gonna say, but like why I try to live right because I try. But do I succeed? No. But one of my biggest fears is for him to say, "Get away from me, for I never knew you. You who practice unlawliness." That could be the pastor. That could be the evangelist. That could be the first lady. If you a PK, that could be your mama. That could be the first people up in church who go to church every Sunday or go to revival Monday through Sunday. It could be them. You know what I'm saying? And they the main ones to say, "But I proclaim your name. I cast demons out in your name. I did this in your name." And he say, "So get away from me. I never knew you because you really never had a relationship with me like she did, the one over there practicing this and that. Yeah, I shown up on that, but she was after my heart still, truly, genuinely. So that's why I remove myself from how what everybody say. Oh, you got to be like this. You got to be like that. You got to be like this. I'm only going by what my daddy say, and he know that I'm still human. He know I'm going to make mistakes. But it's all about if I'm going to continue to make them same mistakes that I know I shouldn't be making. See, I don't do it because I know better. You do it because you may not know better, yet you still do it. You do it because you probably know better and you just don't care. You feel what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
it's different. I was blessed. I didn't have no pressure. Nobody. House of Transformation was there for me from the get go. All I am is just I'm a spokesperson for them. We're trying to really get it. We have a chapter out there in Nigeria, Libya. It's in Africa. They're doing really, really well out there. We're trying to, build it up out here in America because what they offer is what I didn't have when I was homeless. Place to stay, workshops, help you get on your feet. You know what I'm saying? So that's
Was it
that's what House of Transformation is. Huh?
is it conditional on you being willing to turn from the lifestyle? They'll help you, or if you're in the lifestyle, will they still help you?
We haven't had no one in the lifestyle. Well, we did. We had one sister that was in the lifestyle. It wasn't about her being in the lifestyle. It was about her being an addict.
Oh, gotcha.
So, providing a sober being, of course, you're going to have some spiritual, counsel there. Uh, but help fighting your addictions, help you get in a job, but of course it has something to do with spiritual. So whether you take heed to the seed or not, the seed gonna be planted, you know.
Hmm. Okay, so it sound like that element is in there a little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think because you said something that stood out to me. Um, do you think any gay people are going to heaven? Because you said people can kind of be who they want to be, and it's kind of their business type thing. Um, do you think it's to their detriment though, or will they go to heaven?
If I want to be real with myself, I wouldn't say gay people go to heaven or gay people could go to heaven. It's like putting it in a box. It's like categorizing. Oh, gay people go to heaven. Thieves go to heaven. Uh, but I guess the answer, yeah, because a thief went to heaven.
Okay.
He says thou shalt not steal, but yet a thief went to heaven.
So you can be
He
gay and
was
go to
right next to him on the cross. He was sitting next to him on the cross.
right. Yeah. So you could be gay and go to heaven.
It's about your heart. It's about your heart. It's your heart, man. It's not. It really is about your heart. A murderer could go to heaven. Look at me. I hope I go to heaven, but I have my dirty flaws. I have my
So
past.
why do you feel a transformation was necessary if it's about the heart?
It
Why did you
didn't
feel
happen.
it was
The
necessary about your
transformation, I didn't ask for the transformation. The transformation happened on its own, and it happened from the inside out. It happened with the inside out.
okay.
I didn't say, and it wasn't even like, oh, I love you, God. Now I just want to look like a woman. It just happened.
Hmm.
It just really happened, man. The heart posture, like I'm the way that are you married?
Yep.
Okay. So the way that you're in love with your wife, right? And the way that she's in love with you, that's how I'm in love with him. So how I'm in love with God is how I want to be in love with my husband, right? But my relationship with him gives me an idea of how my relationship is to look like down here. So since I love him so much, I want to be what he wants. Oh, so you want me to wear this? You like that? I'll try it on. Okay, I like it. Do I like heels? I do. Am I good
Yeah.
at walking in them? Not really. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying?
I'm starting to understand that when
I
you put
take
it
I
I got okay. So you basically dating God right now and just
I'm
being
in love. He make my toes curl. He make my toes curl, man. That's
okay.
crazy. Yeah.
I'm trying to understand how you think. Okay. um, all right. So
My bad, Mookie. My
nah, you good.
bad.
This is great. This is great. I appreciate it. So what's been like the most challenging part of the journey? Like what would you say is the
Dating.
hardest dating?
Dating.
Okay.
Dating, dude. I ain't lying. Oh man. And then it's so funny because I be laughing at these jokers out here, right? And yeah, I said like, bruh, man, fuck these niggas, excuse my language. That's what I said. And I'm like, boy, they made me want to go back to being a stud. And then I was talking to my little sister because my little sister's still in the lifestyle, right? She
Is she the one that
dipping
brought you
dad, like she loved the Lord. Huh?
was she the one that brought you to the church? That sister?
Nah, This one is she came. My little sister, she like 26. Uh, and I call her my little sister because she was born like 3 days after my birthday. No, before my birthday. But
Oh,
I met her when she was 21, and she came up to the church, and she just got fresh out the pen. So, but she know the Lord. She got saved or whatever, but she still dipping dad. But with her being such a younger generation to me, and me seeing her, studs and stuff, and I was like, man, sis, I'm gonna just go back to being a stud. And then I was making a joke. I was like, nah, I can't even do that because these studs nowadays, I ain't got nothing on them. Like I'm like, bro, they done. I gotta step my game up, like for real, for real. If I'm gonna be a stud, I can't be no stud like this, you know.
you mean you
So
gotta be in Atlanta?
I'm like, man, dude, I gotta really I gotta get a whole new wardrobe. I gotta go back and get some bling blings and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was just I ain't even got it. So the dating game for me has really been difficult due to the fact that I won't have sex.
Okay. So you find that's an expectation with men if they wine you and dine you, that's the next step is
Well, it's not even if they wine or dine. I mean, just if they like, oh, if we're gonna be in a relationship, we gonna have sex. Who wants to be with who wants to drive a car? I mean, who wants to buy a car and they ain't, drove it yet? Uh, type of thing. I want somebody who's already been seasoned, type of thing. Stuff like that. So,
mm, is
it's
that
all
kind of
good.
that's the hardest part is just men expecting sex? Like are there any other aspects of being with men that's different or a turn off for you versus being with women?
I mean, yeah, not only the sex thing, something like where a man with no vision, a man who is honestly doesn't have a relationship with our father. Uh, a man any human being who knows how to have a relationship with their father will know how to treat a human being, friend, husband, wife, co-worker, straight stranger on the street. Uh, so like a person who like is far from God and I'm close to God, that's not going to work either. We're going to have conflict because if maybe that's not going to be for our good. I'm not trying to demasculate him. By telling him, baby, that decision isn't a good decision to make, or that's not a way that we should go. Because I'm going to honor my man, for him to be the head of the household and be a leader. But, I got to know that he knows how to lead. You got vision, you have provision, you know. To me, what I think is a sexy thing and romantic is a man who knows how to pray for his woman. I think that is sexy. That's weird, but to me, that's a turn on.
Mm. No, I get it. So do you ever find yourself getting caught up in like gender roles, like having to fall back? I mean, like as far as wait, I'm not the guy anymore. I don't have to take out the trash.
Yeah, uh, yeah. I think about that. I can't say I've experienced that because I stay by myself. I take my
Mhm.
trash out.
That was an example, but I
But
mean, holding the door for you, is that
I
awkward or weird? Because you used to maybe hold the door for your date or
it's weird when a man does it, but I allow it.
mm, yeah.
It's weird. Even my homeboy, he did it today, and he's just my homeboy, but he know who I am,
Mm,
and he used to like me. He probably still do like me, but he know what type of woman I am, and so it's like we just friends. And I'm like, nigga, this what I ask from any dude. Be my friend first before you try to be my man. Like in order for us to have a relationship, can we build a ship, at least a friendship, to produce a relationship?
yeah.
And most men I can't build a ship with.